person and will be filmed and recorded for live and subsequent broadcast available through the Council's website. The Council is a data controller under the General Data Protection Regulations and the Data Protection Act 2018. We broadcast and record Council meetings to fulfil our public task obligations, to enable members of the public to observe the democratic process. Data collected during the process will be retained in accordance with the Council's published policies available through the Council's website. Members of the Council are reminded that they should follow the Council's established meeting protocols, including around the use of the chat facility, and that comments made in the chat facility are visible to all participants in the meeting, which may include members of the public who have also received invites to the meeting. Okay, so we'll now move on to our Audit Committee meeting. Is there any apologies, substitutions and declarations of interest?
Convener, there are no apologies, so we'll move to a roll call. Can the following councillors please indicate they're present at the meeting? Councillor Clockerty.
Present in chamber.
Councillor Crowther.
Present in chamber.
Councillor Curley.
Present remotely.
Councillor Hellier.
Present remotely.
Councillor Law. Councillor McCormick.
Present remotely.
Councillor Maguire.
Present.
Councillor McVeigh.
Present remotely.
Councillor Nelson.
In chamber.
Councillor Reynolds.
Present remotely.
Councillor Wilson.
Present in the chamber.
Are there any declarations of interest?
Okay, thank you for that. Now move on to agenda item number 2, which is Internal Audit Progress Report. Gillian.
Thank you, Chair. So this report sets out the internal audit activity since the last update to the Audit Committee in May. The focus in the first quarter of the year has been on implementing the new Shared Chief Internal Auditor arrangements, completion of year-end deliverables, and on progressing internal audit work. One of the priorities has been completion of the draft audit plan for 26-27, and a copy is attached to Appendix 1. This has been prepared following a review of the corporate risk registers, prior internal audit coverage, and consultation with senior officers. The plan aims to provide coverage across a wide range of council services to enable the provision of the year-end audit opinion, and it's focused on areas of risk. There's been one audit finalised since the last committee on the payroll system, which was found to be satisfactory. There was one amber issue relating to the process for deleting records after they have been held for a period of time, and an action plan has been agreed to address that risk. Section 2 of the update report provides an overview of current status against the internal audit plan. In relation to follow-up work's been carried out by auditors on actions, and auditors have been able to confirm progress on a number of these actions. An exercise to bring the Pantana system of recording outstanding audit actions up to date will be commenced in the coming weeks. In terms of corporate fraud activity, the team continues to carry out a number of inquiries and investigations in relation to council tax exemptions, whistleblowing activity and other inquiries. In terms of the matches that have been received through the National Fraud Initiative, this operates on a 2-year cycle, and the work in the previous exercise is drawing to a close, and planning for the next round of the National Fraud Initiative data matches has commenced. The corporate fraud team is engaged with the relevant services to make sure that we're able to provide data in the required formats to allow the data matching to take place. The recommendation in the report is for the committee to note the progress from the 1st of May to the 30th of June 2026, and I'm happy to take any questions on the report.
Any questions from members? John?
Thank you, Convener. I note on 3.8 that there is a total of 17 reports. Of that 17, 11 of them are not started. If we look at section 3.10, it does mention that there is resource limitations. Has that been addressed, and can we be assured that there will be no slippage on the reports which are not started?
Thank you. To yourself, Chair. So there is a vacancy in the team at the moment at the lead auditor level, which represents a risk to full completion of the audit plan. I can provide some assurance that the audit plan has moved on since that table in terms of that was at a snapshot in time and audit work is continuing. In terms of the action that's been taken to fill that vacancy, we've had 3 rounds of unsuccessful advertising and recruitment for that post, and we're now exploring other options through human resources.
That's fine, thank you.
Okay. Any further questions from members?
Yes, please.
David.
Gillian, isn't it?
Yes.
Can I go to page 12? And these are the projected audits that you're planning for the next year. I go down to number 6, regeneration environment, project management. Do you have the expertise within your team to properly audit project management?
John.
Thank you. So we're not experts in any of the areas that we audit. However, what we're looking for is certain governance and processes across the areas that we look at. There's all of the people in our team have qualifications, which allows them to follow a methodical process with our audits. And we're required to adhere to global internal audit standards, which means we need to document our approach, consider the risks. So in terms of project management, we would be looking to see, are the risks being managed? Are there proper processes in place for managing those projects? And is there oversight of management at a sufficiently senior level within the organisation? Is there good visibility? So these are the sort of questions that we'd be asking. So no, we're not project management experts, but that doesn't stop us from coming in and asking questions and ensuring that due process is being followed.
Thank you. I quite understand. I look forward to your comments in the bill ring.
Okay.
Beat you to it.
Councillor McVeigh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, convener. Yep, thanks, convener. Just at 3.7, there's a reference to an investigation into missing cash for the IGB. I'm just looking for confirmation that a summary of that report will come back to this committee as well, please. Thanks.
So that was a piece of work for the Health and Social Care Partnership in the first instance. I would seek advice as to the appropriateness of what I can bring back to this committee. Following that, it may be that would need to be something that needs to be brought in private due to the nature of that investigation.
Yeah, thanks. We have had similar reports in the past. Perhaps maybe the Chief Executive or Mr. Forbes can confirm that we will get sight of the summary at least.
Do you want to answer that?
Yeah, I'll have to confirm that we'll take advice on exactly what can be reported and report it appropriately.
Okay, thank you. So,
Okay, thank you.
okay, yeah.
Thank
Any
you.
Any further questions?
Yeah, thanks, Dennis. Shirley, it's just to help with my own understanding of this. It's the National Fraud Initiative. We do know we've had reports on the National Fraud Initiative to the audit place. It's just to help me understand. You were saying about a 2-year cycle. So would we give information segment? They then match that up with all other information and then look for anomalies, and then they send it back to us if we get anomalies. Am I right in that? And if I'm, how often does that happen? Does that just happen once every 2 years or once every 3 years? Or is that an ongoing process that they go through? It's just to help with my own understanding of what actually happens there.
No.
Thanks. So yes, so the main exercise is every 2 years, and councils and other public sector bodies are required to upload their data to a central repository. There's then checks done by the Cabinet Office to make sure all the data is correct and in the correct format. And then the data is then released to the public bodies in terms of matches, so we can then access that. They release it in different kind of categories of what's most likely to provide the highest risk of fraud. So we start with the high priority ones and work our way down. There are some matches that come out at a later date, but most of it is available at the one time, which does provide some resource issues because it would be easier for us to manage if it was more staggered throughout the year. But that's the process at the moment.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Okay, if there's no further questions, we'll move on to the next agenda item, number 3, which is the External Audit Action Plan's current actions. John.
Thank you, Chair. So yes, so there's 3 current external audit actions, one of which has passed its original due date, which relates to the development of the local development plan. There's been no change to the actions reported in this report since the last committee. The next due date is December 26, relating to the saving plan's recommendation. And it's recommended that members note the progress in relation to the implementation of external audit actions. Happy to take any questions on this report.
John.
Thank you, Convener. On page 19, under the equality group involvement, have the groups been identified? Are they only local equality groups or are they national equality groups? Thank you.
Good question.
Through you, Convener, I would need to check back with the interim director of OD and policy. I'm not entirely sure which groups we've been speaking to.
Okay,
I'll check back and come back to committee on that one.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Natasha. Councillor Maguire.
Thank you. Sorry, I was just getting myself off of it. Thank you.
It's okay.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. I just wonder on page 20, under the actions for the related to local development plan, it says the Scottish Government agreed 1st of April 2026. Should we be looking to see that updated soon to say 1st of April 2027? Just aware that's an action that we've pushed back the revised date on.
Sorry, I was having difficulty in hearing you there. Would you mind repeating that question, please?
Yes, of course. Is that better?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So on page 20, under the action related to the local development plan, it says that if we had agreement with the Scottish Government for a new plan to be adopted by the 1st of April 2026, should we be seeing an update soon, saying the 1st of April 2027 with our new revised date?
Just looking for a revised date on the local plan development plan. Stuart.
Through you, Convener. Councillor Maguire, we're seeing the management comments that there is a revised date for 31st of March 2027. It's officer's intention to bring a revised evidence report to the September meeting of Inverclyde Council, and that will then be submitted to Scottish Ministers for consideration. We recognise that that's part of an iterative process, and our target remains for 31st of March 2027, but we are in the hands of the board.
Yeah, no, that makes complete sense, and I did read the full page 20. Sorry, I'm not sure why there's a bit of laughing in the chamber there. Yeah, I can see people looking at other people. But yeah, under the management controls, I had read that it was just because obviously before we'd had that date from Scottish Government, but that makes sense if that's the process that we need to go through. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is there any further questions on this paper? Okay. Happy to note the report.
Agreed.
Great.
Okay, on to agenda item number 4, annual report on risk management activity. And that's Deborah.
Thank you, Chair. This report provides the Audit Committee with a comprehensive overview of the key risk management activities completed throughout the year in relation to risk registers, risk mitigation and risk resilience. Additional activity this year to note included an audit of risk management and an exercise to assess the council's risk management maturity against best practice from local government and the wider public sector. The committee is asked to note the progress made in 2025-26 to maintain a coherent corporate approach to managing the risks faced by the council. I'm happy to take any questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from members? John?
Thank you, Convener. I do have a question, but due to the nature of it, I think it's best that it's actually taken offline.
Okay. Any other questions from members on this?
It's to do with the
We're happy to note the progress of the report. Okay, members, happy to note the progress of the report.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Move on to agenda item number 5. The interim update of the corporate risk register. And again, that's the
decision. This one.
Thank you, Chair. This report provides the Audit Committee with an interim update of the Council's most significant corporate risks. Following review by the Corporate Risk Management Group and CMT, 2 new risks have been added in relation to the Council's Artificial Intelligence Strategy and Governance and Affordable Housing Supply Programme. There are now 12 key corporate risks which sit above the Council's currently defined acceptable risk boundary. Although there have been some updates in the underlying profile of some of the existing risks, there has been nothing material to require a change in the risk scores. And the Audit Committee is asked to consider and provide feedback on, as well as note the position of the most significant corporate risks facing the Council and their current updates.
Thank you.
Happy to take questions.
Any questions from members? John?
Thank you, Convener. First of all, I welcome this report, and if we could move on to Appendix 1 and scroll down to the Artificial Intelligence Strategy and Governance. There is one small issue that I would like to raise, and that is where artificial intelligence says one thing, but in reality we know that it's wrong. One of the classic ones, obviously, was, as I understand it, according to AI, haggis was a live creature that inhabited the Scottish Highlands, when we know that that is not the case. So will there be a lot of checks and balances in place to make sure that any AI information that we get is indeed correct?
Yeah.
Sure.
Really, Convener. Councillor, you'll recognise that in the latest note narrative, it does say that there are opportunities and risks, and we acknowledge that sometimes AI gets it right and sometimes AI gets it wrong. Hence, there's cautious optimism.
Okay, that's fine, thank you.
Wonderful answer.
So, Ian, have you got a question?
Yeah, thanks, Chair. It's just back on Appendix 1, 2 points here on a more sort of serious note. In CRR09, where we've got a threat of successful large-scale cyber attack, and CRR06, when they have a major partner or supply failure, and we look across it, and it could say these things are possible and probable. And obviously today's climate, we know these things are highly possible and probable, especially when we may suffer a major cyber attack or a likelihood of a power failure. So what I was just wondering to know is how the council deals with such a thing. Like some organisations, and Police and Fire, they'll have like a gold command, and they would call together the sort of senior people and representatives of the respective council agencies. And I was just wondering, how do we practice for such an event nowadays? And have we had a practice recently where we can get communication sent out and multiple people working together quite quickly? Thanks.
Sure.
Through you, Convener. Councillor Hill, you recall that it wasn't that long ago we didn't have a threat. We had 2 cyber incidents which were dealt with. We have the CRMT ICT, which deals specifically with cyber attacks, and that is to use terminology which you'll be familiar with, bronze, silver and gold, with myself and colleagues in CNT forming Gold Command in such an instance. So there was a training exercise took place last week. So whilst we are relatively okay in terms of training, we are receiving cyber attacks on a regular basis, and that's something that we have to be acutely aware of. And it's incumbent on us all to make sure that we are vigilant and ensuring that we don't have little instances whereby we end up pressing the wrong button, which was the case previously. So we do have regular training, and we will continue to have regular training. And of course, we are supported by Police Scotland, the Digital Office and SC3 for any such instance.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Christian.
Yeah, thanks, Chair, and thanks, Stuart, yeah, for that comprehensive. Yeah, it's just good to hear it straight from the source here, in such a relevant and obviously times that we live in. Thank you.
Any other questions from members? Okay, so we're happy to note the position of the most significant corporate risk. Thank you. Okay,